Hi there, and welcome to my mini class where I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about all things Akashic in the next 15 minutes or so. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Natasha Harris and I'm an intuitive energy healer and I'm also a coach. But I also support conscious business owners and leaders to really have a thriving business that not only supports them but also supports the planet in these challenging times that we're facing. But I'm also a past life healer, and that's where the exciting thing about the Akashic Records come in. Now, they're an ancient old wisdom that really help us to remove the obstacles that are getting in our way, that are keeping us playing it small, keeping us safe, keeping us stuck as well. And so when we clear the energies in the Akashic Record, what we do is we create an exciting vantage point from where we can really and truly rewrite the scripts of our lives going forward. So we can see and open the doorway to endless possibilities going forwards. And we can really step up into being a soul leader that the world really needs right now and creating abundance in all areas of our lives. So if you're curious to know then really how you can stop repeating some of these old patterns that you're playing out over and over again, that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you playing it small and keeping you safe, then you're absolutely in the right place. Now, perhaps some of these old patterns really might be showing up in a number of different ways. They might be showing up in that you're finding yourself continuously in toxic relationships, perhaps, or maybe in jobs that are really unfulfilling, are really stressful, and you're really anxious in them and you really don't enjoy them. Or perhaps it's showing up in your area of your life around health and well-being, and you're finding yourself continuously having health problems. Or perhaps you're continuously battling with your finances and you're always finding yourself broke. Now, you might find yourself repeating some of those patterns in some areas of your life, where you might have some areas completely sorted and they're really going great, but not in others. Or you might be finding that you're having trouble or challenges a little bit in all of those areas. So it really is time to change that for yourself. And if you're ready to really break free of these patterns for good, if you're ready to release the energy of whatever's holding you back, and so that you can live a life that's aligned to your soul gifts and who you are at soul level, and reconnect to your life purpose so you can manifest what you truly, truly want, then the Akashic Records really are going to help you with that. Now, I've got some slides that I really want to share with you, so just bear with me for one moment while I pop those up on the screen. So then really today, what this mini class is all about is really to tell you obviously a little bit more about the Akashic Records, but also to explain to you what they are and how they really could be your answer to getting back in flow, feeling completely connected to who you really are, and live a life abundantly. Now, by abundance, what I mean is soul wealth abundance, and that includes abundance in all areas of our lives. It includes an abundance of energy, an abundance of money and finances. It includes abundance in our health and well-being, so we feel really great, and also it includes having abundant relationships. So what are the Akashic Records then? Well, they firstly are an energetic database of all the past choices and decisions that we have ever made. Now, if we think about everything being energy, everything we think, everything we feel, everything we say, everything we act out, all our reactions, everything is energy. And science has proven that actually we cannot destroy energy, but we can obviously transform it. So if we're feeling sad, we can move our energy towards one of feeling slightly happier, feeling more excited, more joyful, etc. But we can't destroy energy. So if we cannot destroy energy, the energy that we're putting out there, where's it going? And that's what they say is the Akashic Records. That's what they hold. It's the energetic database of all the things that we have ever done. So you can imagine just how vast they are. But they also came into being the moment our soul came into existence. So our Akashic Record holds information about us from the day our soul came into creation. So it knows we can gain access about who we are at soul level, but also gain the energy of the access the energy of the things that we've been doing lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that's why they hold the key to repeating patterns that we have been really going against who we are and stand in our way of living our true purpose. They really show us also what practical action we can start taking in order to start living a life in flow and abundance. Because if it's showing us all the repeating patterns that we've been playing out over many, many lifetimes, then it gives us those clues as to what action we can start taking that's really going to help us to unlock and start living a life aligned to who we are. So really it offers us and is great insight into reconnecting to your true soul purpose, and so that you can really start manifesting what you truly, truly want. So then what are the benefits then of an Akashic reading and having a look into the Akashic records to figure out who we are? Well, firstly, they give us an insight into your unique soul gifts. So if they came into creation the moment that we were, our soul came into existence, then they hold the essential information about who we are at soul level, who we are and our gifts. And by understanding who we are and what our gifts are, we can really start to understand why certain things feel good and align to who we are and feel good for us, and we feel in flow and we feel like, yeah, this is great. I really feeling in flow with things. They can also really benefit us in a way that they give us the conscious understanding of the patterns that you've been playing out over many, many lifetimes. And so I've alluded to that already. But by understanding the patterns of what we've been playing out with over many lifetimes and how it's been showing up, what we can do is really identify how this energy is still showing up for us today. And that's what's so important, because it's not just information that we're being given about past lives. We're given a real clue as to what's going on for us still today in this lifetime and how we can change it going forward. So the energy clearing itself, when we do that in the Akashic Records, what that does is brings us back into alignment with who we are at soul level and our soul gifts. And then what can happen is that we get clarity on the new action that we can take in order to create permanent change going forwards, because we understand who we are and what action is aligned to being able to fulfill our soul purpose. So it is truly, truly insightful from that perspective. So to give you a little bit of an idea, this is what one of my clients has said about her Akashic reading and clearing. She said that her Akashic reading was really like receiving a roadmap and finding a better route, recognizing that there may be another way around the roadblocks that kept getting in her way, and perhaps even building a bridge over them. And I really love that, because that is really what most people find that the Akashic reading enables us to do. It gives us that understanding, that map, that roadmap, those clues about what's been getting in our way energetically and why we find ourselves in these repeating patterns, so that we can clear them, but most importantly, we know what action to take in order to create change in our lives going forwards. And so that's why I also love this quote, because it is about the action. Because once you've had a reading and you've been given a whole load of information, then what do? You've been given an Akashic reading, we've told you about who you are at soul level, but I've also been able to tell you a bit about the past life experiences that you've been having and the energy that you're still drawing on today. Now, I've seen it so often, and I've also experienced it very much for myself. I've had tarot card readings, I've had psychic readings, I've had energy healings, and while they've all been great, I've been given a load of fascinating information and affirming information. But what's happened for me is that I've gone away and I've got really no idea on what I can do to implement any changes to go forward, to really create the changes that I want in my life, and the reason why I went to these healings, these readings. And, you know, that's what's been so confusing for me. It's like I haven't really known what to do with the information that I've been given in those readings. And that's why it's so important to really know what you need to do next and get some accountability to keep you on track. And that's why I love this quote, because all my clients will say this is what I go on about all the time. But insanity really is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results, as Albert Einstein said. And it is so true, because it is all about the action we take. We can get lots of information and we can go away and not know what to do with it. Or we can be given information through the Akashic readings and then understand what action we can take and how to do things differently going forward. Otherwise, it's just information for us and we just don't know what to do with it. So what's really key here is that you get the results that you want. You need to absolutely take the right action for you. Okay, so when you want to get results, it's not just about taking new action in a haphazard sort of way. You have to take the action that's right for you, and we're all different. So how then do we know what the right kind of action for us individually is? We've all been there, haven't we? I know I have many, many times. Suddenly we feel like we're in flow, you're manifesting everything you want, and you feel like abundance is everywhere, and you feel like you've kind of cracked it, and then something happens. Something goes a little bit hayward, something goes a little bit wrong, and you feel like your abundance has been snatched away from you. You kind of feel like you've done full circle and you're not really sure what you've done. You feel like you've ended right back where you started, and you've probably been left feeling really tired, really frustrated, and completely and utterly confused as to what's caused you to end up taking a step backwards or going back, or feeling like you are actually going backwards. You've got no real idea what you did that meant you're no longer in flow, and that everything feels like a bit of an uphill struggle again for you. And it's really confusing. So kind of when that happens, what's really important for you to remember is that you are always in control. We are always manifesting everything. We're manifesting the stuff that we do want into our lives when we're feeling like, great, everything's going in flow, everything's going great, it's going how I want it, I feel like I'm really cracked it. But you're also manifesting as much the stuff that you don't want. And there's this little bit of a misunderstanding that if we put out positive thoughts out there into the universe is going to reward us by giving us what we want. But I really don't believe that's how it works. And that's where the law of attraction is has a little bit of information that's actually missing. It's not wrong, but it's something that's missing from that. So everything we put out there, our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, remember, they are just all energy. And what's happening is we're putting ourselves into an energetic vibrational state by the action and the thoughts and the feelings that we're taking. And so all that's happening then is the universe is responding to us with a like energy of exactly where we are in this moment. So what happens then when we get something we don't want? We really actually need to look at ourselves really hard in that moment and ask ourselves, what action am I taking that is giving me the results that I'm experiencing right now? Now, I really want you to think about that for a moment, because, and I'm going to say it again, when we're getting something we don't want, we have to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, what action am I taking that is giving me the results that I'm experiencing right now? Because most of us, we want to stop and go back towards where we came from because we feel like we've done something wrong. But that is not the case. I want to reassure you that nothing is ever taken away from you. We take it away from ourselves because we get results and think we're doing something wrong, and so we head back to where we started. So what if you could have an insight into the types of actions then that draw only what you want towards you? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? We would know what action to take. We would recognize then suddenly when things are going a little bit wrong, we could ask ourselves, what action am I taking that's giving me the results that I'm experiencing right now? And instead course correct rather than heading backwards. So in order to understand that, it's really useful to know the 3 reasons why we don't really manifest what we want. So first of all, let me explain that. Because firstly, the first reason why we don't really get what we will manifest what we want, it's because when what we say we want isn't congruent or aligned to who we are at soul level. And what I mean by congruent and alignment is it's not, the actions that we're taking isn't in harmony with who we are. So the Akashic Records really help us to sort that out, because when we can do an energy reading in the Akashic Records, we can understand who we are at soul level. And because we're all different, what that gives us is an insight into who we are and what feels aligned to us. So then we can start to ask ourselves, well, if I want this, is it actually aligned to who I am? And if the answer is yes, it's great. If it isn't, then we can tweak it and we can sort of look at what we say we want and change it a little bit. The second reason why we don't manifest what we want is because what we say we want isn't actually what we want at all. It's usually because we think we should want something, or it's what somebody else has told us we want and what we think we should be doing. So if we recognize that actually what we say we want isn't what we want at all, then we can start to come more into alignment. We are sometimes so busy, conforming to societal conventions, conforming to what our family want for us, without really thinking, what is it that we want? What is it that you want in your life? And the third reason that we don't manifest what we want is it's because you're not taking the right kind of action that's aligned to who you are at soul level. So we might then get the first two right. So we know what we want, and we know it's aligned to who we are at soul level. And we know what we say we want is actually what we really, truly want. It's like we're really passionate about it. It's really what we want. But actually then the action that we're taking isn't aligned to who we are at soul level. And so getting the first two parts of it right will also not help us if we're not taking the right kinds of actions. So we have to get all three of those things right. And that's not always easy, but those are the guidelines and the signposts that we need to really be looking at every time we feel like we've headed off a little bit off track. And they really help us and give us the clues to getting course correcting and getting back on track, rather than feeling like we have to stop or we need to think about everything and start again. So then a much more powerful question for us is then, what do I want right now? Not actually just what do I want. You'll get a whole different answer if you ask yourself, what do I want right now? Because for many of us, we have a clue about what we want in the future, but we're forgetting about what we want right now. We're so focused on what we want in the future, we're not really thinking about the action steps that we're taking right now in this moment. And that's why the Akashic Records really can offer us so much more of an insight into the types of actions that we want. And they really can offer us a number of things. Firstly, they can offer us a unique map to manifesting so that you can feel in flow and abundance. We are all unique, and our route and our map to how we manifest what we want is different for every single one of us. And so they really give us this unique map for manifesting. And from this, what they do is also help us understand what unique action that you need to take that's going to help you to manifest what you want. They also get you to get an understanding of how you can shift your vibrational state. In order to attract new things, we cannot do it from the place we're in right now. We need to take new action, and we need to shift our vibrational state in order to attract new things into our lives. And then we need to know how to keep that vibrational state once we've made that shift. And then what to look out for so that we know how to uphold that new vibrational shift permanently, so that we can keep going and keep moving forwards, rather than doing this yo-yo thing, which is really tiring and exhausting. Taking 2 steps forward, taking 1 step back. Course correcting, taking 2 steps forward, taking 1 step back. We can really understand how we can keep expanding our vibrational state and keep shifting and always getting new results as a result. And of course, accountability is absolutely part of all of this. Sometimes we can't see things through for looking, and that's where I really come in, to ensure that you create the shifts that you want to step into alignment with who you are at soul level and create the life that is completely in flow and abundance for you and is right for you. It really does give you a different way of doing things that break you free from the old patterns and the old ways of doing things. And as our old dear friend Albert Einstein said, reminding ourselves that insanity really is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. We have to take new action that is aligned to who we are, that is aligned to our goals going forward, to get the results we want in order to manifest what we want as well. So there really is no more time to waste. If you're ready to create a change in your life, then please don't stop and delay it any longer. Because if it's not now, then when? Is it next week, next month, next year? Think about all the steps that you can be taking when you know who you are at soul level and what's aligned to you in making that progress if you don't waste any more time now. And the world is changing. If you're out there creating a wave of change in the world, you've got a bigger message that you want to get out there, you want to make a bigger impact in the world, now is really the time. We need the light workers and the changes in the world to come forward now and create a difference now. So really, what I really want to encourage you to do now is to take some of the things that I've given you from this little mini class and really ask yourself, what is going to help you to move forwards right now? And so if you found that this was helpful and you're curious to know a little bit more about the Akashic Records and how they can really help you moving forwards, then please do get in touch. Now, there are several ways that you can do that. You can email me at natasha@mindbodysoulenergy.co.uk. Ask me any questions. If something here's resonated with you and you've got more questions, then please do ask me. I'd love to hear from you. But if you're ready to really know who you are at soul level, I do a one-off Akashic soul energy reading, and you can find out loads more information about that reading, what it includes, some bonuses, some meditations, some soul level activations for you as well. So it really, that one reading does cover a lot, and you can book that energy reading and find out more about it at https://mbse.coach/soul energy reading. But if you want to work with me longer term, if you know that you need some accountability, you've got some really big plans that you really want to get going on, then you'd like to discuss perhaps one of my 6-month programs where I create huge transformational shifts with my clients in really shifting and changing the jobs that they're in, shifting their relationships that are not working for them, and also unlocking them financial money, abundance, peace for themselves, and also improving their health and well-being. Then I offer free 45-minute consultation for people so that you can come in, you can chat to me either online or in person if you're in London. And we can talk about, what really are your challenges, what's getting in your way, and I can explain to you a lot more about the 6-month program in that consultation. As I said, it's 45 minutes, it's completely free. So if this resonates with you, then please do sign up and book that at https://mbse.coach/CWP. So thank you very much for watching, and I wish you much love and abundance going forward and living your life purpose and making a change and an impact in the world that you know you can absolutely have. So I'll speak to you soon.